We obviously have market imperfections. I mean, U.S. markets are not perfect either, but relatively speaking, they're functioning relatively well. And for example, as a foreigner, uh, there is a limit to how much Chinese company stocks you can buy outside of Hong Kong. And that's why, those prices are so volatile because, Chinese players play with them. And that culture is pretty amenable to gambling. So stock market becomes a gambling instrument. Again, because of market imperfections, you have, different implications. And thirdly, for multinational companies, they're kind of an expanded opportunity set. You know, you are a what you want to call pharmaceutical company. There is only so much exploitation you could do to the U.S. consumers. You have these 3 billion Chinese and Indian. I mean, India is about to pass China in population. They're about buck and a half billion each. Yeah, they're not making too much money, but at some point they will. I mean, you may be charging $100 a bottle here. Over there, you could go ahead and charge $3 a bottle and still make money. I mean, I every once in a while I use a inhaler. I have chronic bronchitis since I was a kid. Smoking doesn't help either. And if I buy the actual brand name here with my insurance, and I have a pretty good insurance from EKU, my copay is $25. If I buy a generic albuterol, it's $10. Last year I went to Turkey and I bought 20 of them at less than $2 a piece. So I spent less than $40. It was equivalent to four over here. That's my copay. Without insurance, I think Ventolin is about 100 plus bucks if you don't have insurance. It's just 200 little sprays. That's it. And the ones over here has a dosage of 90 milligram or microgram. The ones in Turkey are 100. They're even 10%, more potent. But why? Because A, they're not paying for all the commercials, and B, U.S. system allows them to recoup their development costs. But you can't import it from Canada. And a lot of times, buyers of these are insurance companies. They charge those costs as premiums to patients anyway. So you're effectively paying for it. So if I'm a pharmaceutical company, oh, there's going to be a lot of asthmatic people soon in China, or there already is because of all the pollution and stuff. I'm sure Indians are not far behind. Yes, I'm getting only $2, but at this point, I have no cost. Probably production cost of that is, less than 10 cents. But it does provide an opportunity set. It also allows you to diversify your risks. Not entire world goes into recessions and booms at the same time. I mean, every once in a while, something like 2008 happens, or Great Depression back in 1929 happens, but those are black swan events. It's like if there's the Third World War, I'm not going to worry about whether I have only one stock or 1,000 stocks on my portfolio. I have other things to worry about, how much ammo, how much food I have stored. But other than those, in normal times, as Europe goes up, maybe Asia goes down, or vice versa, or same thing with the U.S. So it helps you diversify your risks as well. That's why we view international finance as a different field. Now, going back to foreign exchange risk, uh, almost every country has their own currency. Okay? In the old days, things were a little bit simple. I mean, currency was not paper currency, at least mostly not paper currency. Outside of the Han Dynasty in China, Kublai Khan actually had paper currency. You know, anybody who didn't accept the paper currency as a payment, you got him killed. So it wasn't that difficult to get it adopted. You know, Mongols have a simple way of doing things. You know, I come to your city. If you don't surrender if you surrender the city to me, I'll just kill your king or governor or whatever. If you do not, I'm gonna kill every single person in that city. I mean, there was one city where they surrounded the city, and some errant arrow that was thrown from the city walls killed grandson of Genghis Khan, and Genghis Khan ordered that the entire city, including dogs, be killed. I'm serious. You didn't want to piss that guy off. I mean, he was a great military leader in terms of strategy and other stuff, but man, vicious. And they probably killed over 100 plus years, over 10% of the known population of Earth at that time. We didn't know anything about, obviously, Americas. Nobody cared about Africa other than the Mediterranean coast. And they didn't do anything in India either. That's what I mean by known. They were ruthless. All right. They have different currencies. So you can go to Canada and do it, but you cannot take your US dollars, go to France and try to pay in US dollars. The French, especially, are really pissed off. Even before Euro, I mean, I was working in London before Euro had been adopted. I did quite a few business trips to Paris, and I had to have my French francs with me to do any cash transaction. That was it. You gave him, once I tried to give him dollars, he said, there's an exchange kiosk over there. They send you over there, of course. Bid offer spreads were so horrible. Those days, $1 bought roughly 6 French francs. If you go to an exchange kiosk, bid offer spread was maybe 5.5 and 6.5. It's huge. You never want to do that in Paris. In London, I knew specific places. For example, if you go to London, you should normally withdraw money from your bank account here. If you let your bank know that you're going to be there, they're going to allow that. You're going to withdraw British pounds, but your account is going to be charged US dollars. The implied exchange rate over there is pretty good. You get a little bit of foreign exchange transaction fee, but that's about it. If you go to some sort of foreign exchange kiosk in the middle of, let's say, Trafalgar Square, you're going to be taken advantage of. But if you go to Marks and Spencer, you go there, they have an exchange inside the store. You get pretty good rates there as well. So you need to know where places are. I never take foreign paper currency with me, or even US paper currency. I go to the ATM, take US, withdraw the local currency and spend it there. Now, how did this monetary system work? Back in the old days, almost all money was in terms of gold, silver, or very rarely copper for very small denominations. Do you guys know who invented money? The first known, I mean, there may be some unknown versions of it. Known occurrence of money is 600 BCE. It's in a little kingdom on what is nowadays Western Turkey. It's called Lydians. Okay, their king simply said, from now on, there's going to be a little golden circle. It's going to have my face on it, and you can take that to the store and get some milk with it. Before that, you had a barter system. The trouble with barter system is units don't necessarily match. Okay, if I'm gonna buy 4 goats, how many chickens do I need to pay, or how many boxes of strawberries I need to pay? Basically, barter stuff. It Given that it made things hard, that reduced possible volume of trade. Now there's this instrument that says, okay, you can keep your strawberry at home. You don't need your strawberries to buy goats. You're gonna take this little piece and take it to the store, and they're gonna give you the goats. At least, gold has some sort of intrinsic value because people use it as jewelry. Nowadays, there's obviously it also has industrial uses. But other than that, why should that gold have any value? Well, because King says it does.